Hello.
Hello.
We've got a guest. Someone finally joined us.
That's right. A real podcaster.
A real podcaster.
Hang on, I can go call one. Maybe I can get one in here for you.
Creator of things on the internet. Hello, Habitual Linecrosser.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. I really appreciate this.
We are sorry Gonky already butchered your name and made it Habitual, like Delta Air, lines. You're Habitual Line, crosser. And
well, it depends. Instagram is like the three. And
that's funny because, dude, I tried to figure that out earlier and I kept seeing different ones. I was like, I'm just going to pick one. Dude.
Branding is important. So welcome, though. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time, at least for the first hour, to talk to us about missiles.
Yes.
Or whatever else you want to talk about. I heard your dogs were cool. You were telling me about that.
I do have some interesting canines and interesting stories and all sorts of stuff like that. If you want me to break the ice, I can come out with an air defense story. It's up to you guys.
Look, man. You're getting paid by the hour here.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I better perform then. Shirt off or on? No, it's PG. No,
feet.
Oh,
Get
feet.
the foot camera out. How are the mangled feet looking right now? Yes, continue with your stories. Already, I just want to hear it.
So 2016, it was my second deployment, and we do a couple of different types of exercises. One is our evaluation. It's called a Table 12 or a MRE, mission readiness exercise. They show up, you posture the whole system without actually making the birds live. And then after that, you shut everything down and you go into a simulated air battle and you run through that. And one of the other things we do is a TWE, which is a transition to war exercise. And during that time, missiles get hot. Everything is ready to rock. Like you are, aside from pushing the button, you're there ready to go. And in UAE, we had set up this remote site. And this is the middle of one of my MRE evaluations. And this remote site was, I don't know, 20 kilometers outside of us. And so I'm powering everything up, doing everything we're supposed to do. And believe it or not, luckily I saved myself because I actually read the STO, or the Surface to Air Missile Tactical Order, on all nets. I read it across every net, do not unlock torque tubes, do not apply missile heat, do not, so on and so forth. And in the middle of our evaluation, we're, everything's cooking, we're doing great. And all of a sudden, my TCO, my officer, he was looking at missile inventory and he's like, we got live birds at the remote site. And I thought he was just simulated, like, cool, simulated. And he was like, no, they're hot. And so in the middle of this evaluation, which can decertify us and like mess with CENTCOM's ability to defend itself, I'm like panicking. So I shut off the launchers as fast as I possibly can. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. We ruined this evaluation. And luckily, my evaluator, she was listening on the net and had heard everything. Like I told them exactly what to do, what not to do. But for some reason, they thought down there it was a transition to war exercise. So got the birds hot. And where we were at, we didn't. And we ended up crushing that evaluation. But that was probably the closest pucker factor I ever had in Patriot air defense right there.
Gonky.
That's awesome.
I've never been more lost in my entire life.
Oh,
I think I might have understood
No.
at least 1/3 of...
I'm tracking. Basically, your finest hour was wrapped in buffoonery.
Yes.
Yeah, like ours. Okay.
Like
Thank you,
ours,
Gonky.
dude. See?
Well, let's back up. Let's back up and start from the beginning.
Okay.
You joined the Army, right? Because I think we're kind of a pilot side of the thing. So I don't understand any of this. So you join the Army, and then what happens? Were you like 18 and like, hey, I want to go to the Army?
Yeah.
Like stripes? Like how'd this work?
I was an angry kid, realistically, and I wanted to get out of my hometown. And I grew up, I saw 9/11, so I was like, wanted to go fight in the war. That's what I wanted. And I remember going into the recruiter, and I took the ASVAB, and they gave me this big long list of jobs because like I had no arrests, no misdemeanors, no nothing, and I passed all their physical requirements. And I didn't like reading. So I remember pointed at the wall. I was like, can I do that? And it was a poster of a guy standing in front of an Abrams with an M4. So my first 3 years in the Army, I was actually a tanker.
Hey, Casmo was a tanker too.
Yeah,
That's a cool one.
I
That's
enjoyed
awesome.
it. I really, unfortunately, I didn't really like, aside from a couple of gunneries, I didn't really do tank stuff because 2010 they sent me to Malajad, Afghanistan, and they plussed us up with infantry guys. I went through a designated marksman course, and
Oh,
I carried an M14 the entire time I was in Afghanistan.
hell yeah. That's
And
cool.
a lot of dismounted combat patrol stuff. I think the only time we ever really got to see some A-10s do some gun runs. That was biblical from the ground.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful time. And then we had, I want to say they were F-15s, dropped 3 500-pounders, and they bounced a forward Ranger about 60, 70 feet in the air.
Wow.
That was a good time.
Wow.
Got back and I was like, I love this. I want to stay doing this. And President Obama was downsizing the Armor Corps at that time. And they said, pick a new job or get out. And I was like, I want to stay near the fight. And they're like, air defense is combat arms. That's lie number one. It's like diet combat arms. So I went over to air defense, and I'll be honest with you, I really hated it for probably 2 years. I was like, this is dumb. I'm going back to armor. Like, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Was it like academic? Was it because it was so much classroom stuff before you did anything?
Yeah,
or
it was a very, Patriot specifically operates kind of as a vacuum in the Army. Like in the Army, we say ADA is another damn Army because like we're completely cut off from the rest of like the way the Army operates. And Patriot specifically has an interesting way of accomplishing tasks. Think of the most simple thing in the world, like picking up a piece of trash. Now make it a 7-day operation with 13 meetings. Like
that's the Air Force.
Army training, sir.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And I hated it for like 2 years. And then I remember my platoon sergeant had sent me to gate guard. And if you're in the Army and you're a 14 Echo, which is Patriot fire control, and they put you on gate guard, that's basically saying you're not useful to my team.
Like the actual base gate, like security forces?
Yep.
Checking IDs?
Yep. I did that for
really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's because
as a Patriot guy.
Yeah, I don't know how it works on other bases, but like on Army bases, you have what's called red cycle tasking. And so you'll have to put together a QRF. You'll have to do like base cleanup. You'll have to maintain gate guard. Sometimes you'll put somebody like working the museum on base or something like that. So I got stuck on that. Yeah.
Gonky and I have never seen such things. We do every now and then see people without body armor checking IDs, but
officer side, enlisted side. Yeah, it's
no, it's Air Force. This is an Air Force thing. 5-star hotels. I mean, what are you talking about? Wow. Jeez.
But I came back from gate guard and I was like, you know what? I'm stuck here. I might as well learn this stuff. And I showed up and I started just absorbing knowledge and reading and doing a lot of work on my own. And in a matter of like 3 years, I went from knowing almost nothing about Patriot air defense to a battery trainer in my unit, which is an E7 master gunner position. And I was a brand new E6 and wasn't a master gunner.
Wow.
And then I went, like, I had some really cool jobs after that. I got to work at the Air Missile Defense Test Detachment at White Sands Missile Range on several different programs. That's actually where I met my wife out here.
Oh, cool.
And then I got to be an instructor for senior leader course. That was my last job in the Army. So any E6 14 Echoes that wanted to be E7s had to pass my school.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you were an instructor. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Gonky. You probably a smarter question than what I'm about to ask.
No. So you were instructor on the Patriot.
Yes. Now, senior leader course is more tailored towards like platoon level and company level operations.
Right.
How to brief the right things, make sure you're building a training plan according to like doctrine, and you're in accordance with all SOPs and stuff to make sure you get your unit trained and ready to deploy. Like that's ultimately the focus.
So maybe before your time, but so I was in Desert Storm 91 as a kid because my dad worked for Aramco oil company, and
definitely before his time, dude. God, Jesus.
Now, I was
one.
Right.
Come on, man.
Where I'm going with this is
thanks for he's never coming back. Thanks.
Where I'm going with this is the Patriot missile battery was the prime defense against Scud missiles. And I was curious, in your immersion of the Patriot missile system and teaching it, was there things from Desert Storm 91? Because they fired a lot of Scuds at Israel and Saudi Arabia. I had pieces of Scud missile, and there was the one that killed a bunch of I think there were guard guys that just showed up not far from where I lived at the time. And I was just curious, man, did you guys did anything come out of those engagements that you guys learned from and applied to make the Patriot better?
Oh, absolutely. So the first ever guided missile intercept, missile versus missile in the air, is U.S. Patriot in Saudi Arabia in 1991. No one had ever done it before then. It is a concept that was completely foreign, and it was a happy accident because Patriot is an expensive program. I mean, every single system, which comes with all the pieces, is about $1 billion a piece and takes about a year to build.
Wait.
One?
What is a piece? Like the truck? All I picture is like a truck with a launcher, and then there's like a Connex container and a dude with a red switch. Please explain to me, like I'm either a Chinese spy named Ping Fang or a 5-year-old, how this works.
Okay, so the most expensive piece is the radar, the Patriot radar. That costs about, I don't know, $40-50 million right there just for that. And then you have what we call the Big Four, and some people call it the Big Five because they did add in the BCP, or the Battery Command Post, which is Patriot's link into Link 16. And that became a thing around 2003 because an F-16 smoked the back of a Patriot radar because it didn't know where friendly assets were because we weren't in the Link architecture.
Now, hold on now. We're going to talk about Patriot shooting us. We're not talking about us shooting you.
Wrong podcast, bro.
Objection.
No one got hurt. The radar, I talked to those guys. They put it back together with hopes and dreams, and it still ran. It still worked.
Wait, so you said the first missile on missile was Desert Storm 91, and it was an accident?
Yes. So enemy missiles were coming in. Patriot was capable of detecting those, but they weren't, like, it was still kind of a new system and had never been combat tested, and they didn't have anything else to throw at it. So they're like, try, just put it in auto and send it. And it did. And back then in 91, I mean, it was like 25% PK, or probability of kill. It was not a good ability to defend an asset, but that sent Raytheon into overload because they're like, this works. We need more of this. And the Army was like, yes, we need a lot more of this.
Wow.
So getting back to the question about the cost, you have the Big Four, which is the radar, the ECS, which is the engagement control station, which is where 2 people, sometimes 3, sit and actually fight the fight.
With the red switch?
With lots of switches.
There's got to be a red guarded switch. Like one. What is the one?
Movies.
Yeah, that's all I know is movies. What is the last thing? Is it like a key and then a button, or just a button and a switch? Like, what do we do? How do we get the thing off the rail?
Well, it really depends. If you're shooting at ballistic missiles, you have the system configured correctly, you can just put it into auto, which is
we don't want that because we've seen that. Auto's not good for us.
Yeah,
that's not.
And it'll send it away, and it'll start smoking everything. And
as we've learned. Yes.
But to actually engage, you'll hit, there's an engage button, will switch indicator, and now it's actually touch screen with some of the modern upgrades. And then you have to acknowledge that you just hit engage. So you have to hit alert acknowledge, and then you have to hit engage again. So it's basically boom, 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 and you send it away.
Wow. And then what? You go get a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Walk away like it's not your problem anymore. Like what happens next?
I mean, depending on what you're engaging, it'll select based on your tab packet and how you have the system configured. It will choose a method of fire. I'm not sure if I can go over the methods of fire,
Let's
but usually,
not.
one or 2 missiles.
Jail, they are watching, by the way.
Yeah. So. I'm sure they are.
The jail.
They're
people.
like, we can't let these 2 worlds touch.
Yeah, they're definitely.
You guys
watching.
operate. You said there's 3. There's 3 per battery. 3.
No. Each battery of 70 to 90 soldiers is one system, but that's up to 8 launchers. You have the radar, the ECS, the engagement control station. That right there is a launcher. That's a German-made one, though, because ours are pulled behind Hemmets.
Do you have the little leveling kit like the Gonky's RV?
Oh, yeah. There's a bubble level on there, and you can do it with a gunner's quadrant. Yep.
It's probably a manual system, though, right? You got to jack it down. It's not hydraulic.
No,
is that hydraulic?
Well, kind of hydraulic. It's electric because it has like these big, they're electric hydraulic because they just spin, and as they spin, the outrigger legs, they fold down right there, and that's how you get that. And the trailer there is actually the same trailer that's on the radar. So the trailers are identical. And you get 6 to 8 launchers. And then you'll get the EPP, which is the electric power plant, which has two 150 kilowatt generators. She drinks about 100 gallons in 8 hours.
Wow.
What's that dude doing right there?
Texting,
I guess. I don't know.
Is he on Hinge? He's on Hinge looking for his next Frau.
We don't want to judge. It could be Grinder. We don't know.
Right.
Well, judging by the Soviet equipment behind him, I would guess that it's probably, I don't know.
I think he's Polish. I think that's a Polish flag on his shoulder. And then you have
other countries.
The AMG, or the antenna mast group, which are 2 antennas. They go up to 110 feet in the air when you extend them all the way. And those are line of sight antennas. That's how our unit talks to each other, through voice and data. You pass them through those. You can do it through like a TAC LAN. It's just a little bit more rare and kind of labor intensive. And then you also have your systems and support equipment, your battery command post, and then I'm trying to feel like I missed anything. System maintenance trailer, and then LRPT, which I can't remember what that stands for. It's a HEMT with a crane on the back, but it's a 2-segment crane. And then the GMT, or the guided missile transport or ground missile transport, really depends on where you read it. That one has a crane on the back, but it has 3 segments and it can lift a little bit more. And that's how you actually reload the system.
Wow. You can reload these things.
Yeah. You just pull the old ones off, slap new ones on.
So I guess doing this, did kind of your DMR mindset help you with this? Like visualizing, like, from that perspective, from a fixed position, trying to protect a point?
Yes and no. I'd say that more than anything, my time in the armor really transferred over, because in the tanker world, your tank is everything. It is your life or death. And air defenders notoriously don't take care of their equipment, which is incredibly surprising. And when I came over to air defense, I had that same mentality, is like, keep your truck, like that is your life or death right there. You need to make sure that thing operates. And I'm sure you guys being pilots, it's a lot the same for you. You care about your equipment. And very quickly, our maintenance program was kind of the envy of the battalion, because we had really tight, well put together, maintained equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a place to sleep? Like just Army, you sleep outside on the ground in between engagements?
Yes and no. Well, if you're engaging and you're at a certain like readiness state, you're stuck there until another crew comes in and relieves you. But if you're just doing steady state operations, usually 24 on, 24 off. We did that for 9 months. So you're awake for 24 hours and then you get 24 hours off.
Gonky, no wonder. You're sleep deprived.
They've been up for 48 hours. Just shoot it.
Leave it on auto. I can't do this anymore.
They'll figure it out.
Gosh.
How much? I'm curious, because I think we talked a little bit before the show. I know as a Navy guy, I'd never at all had any kind of exercises or integration training with Patriot. You guys in your training, was there any of that as far as integrating with? Because typically, right, a good layered air defense starts with fighters out there and maybe some Patriot stuff. Like, did you guys have training? Did you do exercises?
Yes. When I was there, and we didn't really get to see behind the curtain on the Air Force or Navy side, and I don't think they got to see behind the curtain on our side, because we have, ever since 2003 when we shot down the friendly aircraft, we have this position that we've created called a DAFCO, which is Air Defense Artillery Fire Control Officer, and it's usually a senior warrant officer or a commissioned officer, and they go to a specific school with the Air Force to learn how to translate Air Force to Army and Army to Air Force. Because, and right now the system is a little bit of a bottleneck, which part of the reason we're coming up with new systems. So like for me at the fire unit, my system, as it detects something out there, it gives it a local track number. So my local number is 1 through whatever. And then they have to correlate at that level with the Link 16 track number and figure out what that is. And if the Air Force knows what it is, cool. Or if they're going to send defensive counter air up there to deal with it, cool. If not, it's violating my parameters and I may take a shot at it if they choose to.
So we were going to talk about it, but this is a good segue. When you heard about the Kuwaiti shoot down of the Strike Eagles, right? 3 Strike Eagles, everybody, including myself, our first gut reaction was,
I mean, the Patriot.
Patriot was, I mean, it was a saturated environment and whatever. But what you were just talking about, you know, the link, I mean, there's a lot of redundancy in systems that are supposed to stop it. I mean, what were your thoughts on that before you, or just as you were hearing about that?
When I saw the video of the F-15 and a flat tail spin still in one piece, my immediate thought is that's not Patriot. We don't hit that way. The system is designed when we engage aircraft for a myriad of reasons, not just lethality. Our missiles most of the time come down right on top of the cockpit when we're engaging that aircraft. The fact that it was hit in the back and it's still in one piece, because Patriot is not small. If it's a Pac 2, that's a 3,000-pound telephone pole at Mach. I don't know what the Google says, like Mach 4. Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah,
so it's cooking.
Mach Jesus, is that hypersonic?
No, don't you do it.
It's near hypersonic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to keep one thing under wraps. There is such thing called high hypersonic, which is Mach 10 or greater. And so far the internet hasn't found that one yet.
Oh gosh. Anyway, yeah, that's a Maverick.
Yeah.
Mach 10 or greater is Maverick ejecting.
Yes.
Very survivable.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You get turned into goo and your skin boils off. Oh my gosh. But no, I didn't think that. So on one hand, Patriot doesn't engage that way, but I was like, okay, if they're saying it's Patriot, which was the initial thing, and then they eventually said that I think it was a Kuwaiti
F-18.
F-18. Okay. Which that makes more sense just because the amount of damage that the F-15 sustained. So the only other possibility was that it was kind of a fire from the hip at like a cruise missile threat, something they thought was a cruise missile, and the system at that point is just trying to hit it. It's not trying to hit it in a specific location. It's just, I need to take this threat down. And I will tell you, I've worked with Middle Eastern nations that have Patriot for several years, and they don't take it seriously. They don't care. Their level of training is... It pales in comparison to ours. Last time I trained with the Emiratis, I was, I had the STO, the Surface to Air Missile Tactical Order, and I'm just blasting through tabs, doing my job. It's an easy air battle. We have levels, which is ABML, which is Air Battle Management Level 1 through 16. This is like a 5. It's entry level stuff. And like the dude who was working with the Emiratis, because we have all over the Middle East, we have these guys called TAFT, which I don't remember what the acronym is, but their job is to augment American forces with their forces to like basically keep them from shooting our guys down. That's their sole purpose in life. And he kind of like leaned over and whispered down in my ears, like, slow down, act like it's difficult. I'm like, oh dear. Like,
yes.
All right. So, Skid would like to confirm that we are not going to jail for anything you just said.
Okay.
No, he's asking. He's like, please confirm all this is, we're not going to go to jail. So we're trusting you. We hope, which by the way, let's a couple from the audience before I get too overwhelmed here. Tom says, HLC, don't let Grandpa Buff talk. This is PG rated. Let's talk about that. So that, I mean, I've seen your stuff. I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's the mouth on the, the Raptor and the thing. I mean, how'd you get started doing that? Was that your claim to fame, or was there something before that?
Well, I was making content, just sketch comedy for probably 2 or 3 years before that. And then I was on TikTok pretty big, and that filter became a big thing. And I remember I grew up around probably the same time you guys did. And Jay Leno was like the king of satirical news comedy. And I was like, you know what? I can make fun of the news. And the fact that it became aircraft was kind of just happenstance, because like, I think there was something about the B-52 in one of my first videos. It was like that they're going to continue it until 2040, the program. And I was like, you know what? He's 70 years old. He's seen a lot. He's been, bombed every continent on the planet. Like, he's just, to me, that's like a grumpy old vet. And that's kind of what I worked into. And I remember I just called him Grandpa at first. And then somebody's like, oh, it's Grandpa Buff. And I was like, what is Buff? And Buff is the acronym for the B-52. I don't know if we're supposed to say that here. Yeah. And so it became Grandpa Buff. And then as I started introducing more characters, I would like read up and learn about the systems a little bit. And I was kind of just going off of vibes, and that's how the F-22 came to be. Is like, this thing is arguably one of the most powerful fighters on the planet, and he never gets to do his job. Like,
do you think you're responsible for that now? Like, do you think now that they're intentionally prohibiting the Raptor from getting any kills in this
a little
theater?
piece of me wonders if somebody at the Department of War watches my videos. It's like, we have to keep this going as long as we can.
Yeah. Now it's just a running gag.
It really is. And I just hope that if he does, like, you know, I was kind of, you know, hoping against odds that, you know, Iran was going to be the thing.
No, wait, they intercepted you.
Oh, wait,
what was
did
that?
I just hear myself?
That's our producer.
Oh, okay. And no, you're good. And then, but it didn't happen. So I just kind of kept the gag running. But
wait, did you do one for the balloon?
I did.
Well, so there. I mean, there you go. That was something.
You know, maybe you guys could explain that to me, you know, because you have experience in that field. Why did they choose a missile over the, you know, the gun, the 20 millimeter gun?
You don't want to fly through the frag. They needed some standoff.
Yeah.
Because at the altitude and speeds they were going, you need some standoff. And you're poking holes in it. There's no guarantee that that's even going to really take the thing down. In fact, the Canadians tried it. Remember, Gonky, we were talking about this. The Canadians chased this balloon around a long time ago, and they had a lot of trouble with 20 Mike with the big balloon.
Yeah, and I've had a couple goes at the banner and aerial gunnery. And those guys could probably run through a whole belt, and the balloon's still flying.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, to get the thing now.
Right.
That being said, did we have some unsuccessful engagements? Perhaps.
Right.
Were there some more embarrassing sides to this? Because if you recall back then, every balloon was hostile.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just like we had the one balloon and then everything. Like, we were just kids' party balloons, Dora the Explorer. Any balloon that made it to 20,000 feet was hostile.
Yes.
And we were calling them out and shooting them.
You know what I thought was kind of interesting about the whole situation is there's a large number of people mostly on the internet who thought like we didn't see it or didn't know it was coming. And like a week after, the Air Force was like, yeah, we were tracking it from here. It came off, you know, it took off at about this date, and we tracked it all the way across the Pacific, giving constant updates to the White House until eventually we had to do something about it. And I'm like, we have the best sensors on the planet. I know we were watching it. It's just whether or not if John Q. Public knew that we were
From
watching it.
Space.
Probably.
Yeah. Google Maps was probably watching it.
Oh, man. And they got the SBX out there in the Pacific, and that thing sees to forever. The sea-based X-band radar. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of those before. There's two that exist, one or two.
Yeah, the balloon thing was interesting, but it, you know, when like you were talking about, when they started sending Raptors across the pond, because that's the first thing they announced, right? The Raptors are going. It's going to be this big conflict, and then nothing happened.
Yeah,
it kind of, it's been disappointing.
Yeah,
you know, it's interesting. Is I kind of inadvertently predicted the Iran thing. I don't want to take credit, but like, Uncle Sam's playbook doesn't really change very often. We're very big on the, hey, look at what I'm doing here. Don't pay attention to this. That's a big thing that we love. And it was the night before we had officially gone loud in Iran, and people were like, well, what do you think is going to be the predecessor? And I was looking at what we had over there, and I was like, we have probably 3 times the amount of air power we would need to just eliminate everything they had. I was like, if I know Uncle Sam, you're going to see like the announcement of the end of a training exercise, a bunch of them pick up and start heading back stateside. And that's when we're going to hit. Like 6 hours later, that's exactly what happened.
Now, did you, from the Patriot and the schools, did you get out, or are you still in some capacity?
Yeah, they meted me out, my hips and knees. And then they worked on one of my hips and it didn't heal right. And they're like, well, we still want to do the other one on both your knees. And I was like, I'm good. You know, I got this social media thing. I'd like to be able to walk. I'm okay with that. So
you were doing both simultaneously at one point? Like you started the social media thing?
Yeah. Sleep was a commodity.
How did the Army feel about that? Did they ever talk to you?
I did get a couple of stern talking tos because people who were in very high ranking positions actually watched my videos and would reach out to me for like cross training. They want to know what we can bring to the fight and stuff like that. And I'm like, there's a chain for a reason, guys. And I remember I had a 1-star show up at Fort Sill looking for me, and he basically just wanted me to grab some subject matter experts and go up and check out their training exercise up in Michigan. And I went up there and they had like everything set up for us up at Camp Grayling. They do a training exercise, and they actually have part of one of the Great Lakes sectioned off for like missile launches. They can't fire Patriot, just don't have enough room, but Stingers. And I mean, they had air tasking orders. They had air corridors. They were set up for us. And we don't really have a winter training location for air defense. We always go to NTC. So I was like, this is a huge opportunity. I got to start talking to a 1-star without telling people.
Yeah, I feel like that would be frowned upon in the Army.
Yeah.
Or just anywhere, really. Yeah. But more in the Army than anywhere.
Yeah, they don't like that. And
wow.
It's amazing that, I mean, that had to happen for those dots to connect for them to get the training they wanted.
Yeah. I thought it was wonderful. And I mean, later on, I ended up setting up a meeting between that 1-star and the Air Defense Artillery Command Sergeant Major. And they were both like, yeah, let's do this. This is everything we need. And I still got a little smack on the wrist for it.
When you travel with your Patriots,
mm-hmm.
do you just like hook them up to the trailer? Like you're like drive them down the highway? Like how do we get
fly them in theater?
Yeah, no. So we do that a lot. We can also rail load them, and then takes a couple of C-17s or C-5s to move the stuff just because of the weight. But that's actually a huge part of our gunnery it's now called PM&E, which is prepare for movement and emplacement. So when you're doing like your gunnery tables, which is like your levels of certification, your table 8 is a combined unit exercise where you have to roll onto a site where no one has been. Like they give you the order in the middle of the night. Hey, you're moving to here. And so your RSOP team, which is your reconnaissance, selection, and occupation of position, they go out, they mine detect, they pound in the grounding rods, they set up security, run C-wire, whatever else we need. And then we roll in and we set up as quickly as we can. I think we have, I don't know what the exact certification is, but we have to hit like minimum engagement, which is the ability to fire 2 missiles off of 2 launchers in like 29 minutes. So it's quick. And then when we get the order to move, we have to displace and like be in convoy order in like under an hour.
So you drive the thing, or did you have to have like
Oh yeah, we got licensed on all that stuff. Our radar is dragged. Our launchers are all trailered. The ECS, the AMG, and the EPP are all on the truck themselves. I have buried many a radar because that 8x8, she tries, but I mean, those things they're like 40 tons. Like the
$40 million radar we were talking about earlier.
Yep, just drag it through the mud. Done that.
Oh no. Yeah. Did you run over anything with your tanks when you were a tank man?
Let me see. No, I don't. I almost drove off a cliff once, but that wasn't really my fault. Because you can't counter steer a tank. So if you start sliding in your car, you steer into it. That does not work in tracked vehicles. We were at Fort Carson. We were doing a tank gunnery, and the back of a tank it's a turbine engine, so it puts out a lot of heat. And it was like 20 or 30 below zero at Carson, and in between each tank, the ground would melt and refreeze, so it just got more and more slick. And we got to this part of a mountain, and there was a little dirt berm on the right side, and then you go down the hill, and then you turn left. And past that dirt berm was, I'd say 80% grade. Like it was steep. And I remember I was coming down and my left track started sliding, and I'm in the driver's hold. I'm trying to steer back into it, not realizing you can't do that with a tracked vehicle. And I went right through the dirt berm, and my driver's hold was actually hanging off the edge of that thing. And in my head, if we tipped, I'm aiming for the bottom. I'm giving it the full throttle to hopefully we make it down in one piece. But we managed to get out of there.
What do you steer with? Because I remember the documentary.
Like a zero-turn mower?
Yeah, is it like
pretty much. In the middle, there's so you can like adjust it, and then you have 2 handholds like this, and that's throttle. And then your gear selectors in the middle, you just pull out. You got reverse, drive, neutral, and then in neutral you can still steer, so you can pivot turn. And yeah, that's it. It's super simple. You're kind of like laid back, like in a recliner almost in the driver's hold. It's not bad.
Have you ever drag raced 2 tanks?
No, we did not drag race. No,
They are fast.
They go up to, well, they're governed at 42. I've gotten mine up there. You can,
like I said,
knots or mile per hour. Do you guys use the aviation knots, or are we miles per hour? Like
with tanks, miles per hour. With air defense, meters per second, usually.
Metric.
Yeah, well, we have this one that I've only seen in Patriot, and I love using it because it hurts European brains so much. We also use kilofeet for elevation.
It's like 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I don't like this at all. All right. From the audience, some more. Metal Mania says, "Hey, mover, tell Habitual long balls Linecrosser I said hello."
Thanks, Metal Mania. Hello.
That's quite the call sign you have there.
I guess so. It's I guess.
Bohica says, "Make sure he tells you about poop balls." Let's.
Guys, this is PG-13 here, man.
Yeah. Don't forget about Alec. He's watching.
Alec and his friends.
Cal says Tomcats.
That's right.
It's a beautiful bird.
Tomcats. All right. And then Tom Pasco says HLC Rich is watching and judging.
Gosh. That's Angry Cops. He's a good friend.
I love Angry Cops. I watch him all the time.
He's good people, man. He gives me a whole lot of shit all the time.
Angry Drill Sergeant. Did he get exonerated or whatever? He was fighting with the people in Buffalo. Is that all wrapped up now? The thing.
So
with the
it's
city?
kind of it kind of hit round 2. They finished their investigation and basically said no one's at fault. Our policies are going to change. Everything's fine, and that isn't what we wanted by any means, because it was Buffalo Public Schools was intentionally withholding information about bad things happening to students so that way their numbers look better.
Yeah. And you also I think about this because our friend is doing the same thing. Brandon Herrera is on the Unsubscribed podcast.
Yes.
And he's running for Congress.
He is. The incumbent just resigned, I think. Yeah, he resigned. And he's running, and I've had long conversations with Brandon. I hope he can make the right changes up there, but the system is so protective of the system.
Yeah. Has that been tough on you guys too? I mean, I'm sure in like this space it's largely apolitical, but then you got your friend that's doing that. Does that make it kind of a tough?
Yeah, there are sometimes you want to say things and you don't, but other times that realistically it's like, how do I word this? It's like giving some of us exactly what we want because we love to just stir on the internet. It's like it's a favorite pastime.
Cross the line, if you will.
Oh yes.
Habitually,
habitually cross the line.
That is.
I got that name from my commander when I was a battery trainer.
Okay, hold on. Now we need to know how you became Habitual Linecrosser.
So I was his battery trainer. The day I pinned 6. Like they pinned it on me. I'm like, hey, cool, thank you. And then my commander and first sergeant just cornered me, and they're like, we need a battery trainer. I'm like, okay, well, some of these guys are real good, and they're like, you're the best we have. Like, you're gonna do it. And I'm like, not to toot my own horn, but like bottom of the barrel. There wasn't much else. And so I was his battery trainer, and again, this is probably something I brought from the armor world. The way air defense trains, and it irritates me, is they train to pass evaluations. They don't train to win wars. Mm-hmm. And I am completely different. My paperwork wasn't pretty. I remember sitting in my truck with all the platoon sergeants, and we're doing our check rides so that they could inspect my book. But my guys were trained. My guys were crushing it because I was out there training with them as much as I possibly could because I care about that. And so I bent a lot of rules, and I ended up getting an Article 15 because I ran nude across a training area trying to boost morale.
Who's morale?
Did it work? Did it work?
It was a flash flood joke because we're in the field, it's raining, and there's flash floods in Oklahoma, and so they went and got the commander first sergeant. They're like, "There's a flash flood," and here comes Staff Sergeant Long running butt naked across the field.
It's not a lie. It's a fact. It actually happened.
Exactly.
It's a factual statement.
And So, I mean, I got an Article 15, which is whatever. They were like, you have extra duty. I was already working those hours anyways. I think I did like 3 days of extra duty out of 45. And so did that. And then right as I was about to PCS to go to White Sands, he gave me my going away award. And he's like, Sergeant Long, you bent and broke a lot of rules. You're a habitual line crosser. And I was like, uh-huh. And he goes, you know why you're not in more trouble? I was like, why is that? And he goes, because you're really good at what you do. Thanks for playing to my strengths, sir. Appreciate it. He ran cover for me a lot. It was a great commander. Great dude.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I love that. That is and then so it was born. The habitual
so it was born,
line So it was born on that day. Well, that's awesome. Sean frying in the house.
They think I look like a fat Sean Ryan, so Sean Fryan.
That's great.
I don't know. You guys just walked into a whole bunch of inside jokes that I'm having to explain to you.
I love it. I'm here for it. Cal says I was an MP at Carson when HLC was there.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Well, how come you weren't checking the IDs then? Why'd you make HLC do it?
That's right.
They were.
He was man in the Patriot battery while you were checking IDs.
Everything's hostile.
Oh man!
Hey, what do you yell when you shoot? Like, is it Fox 3?
Birds away.
Oh yeah, because of the birds are missiles.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think for us, and when incoming threats are coming, this brevity it's joint NATO brevity. It's perfectly unclassified. You can look it up on your own. We say fireball, but apparently Navy says vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Now I'm starting to understand some of the Navy jokes because I actually get that. But yeah, I didn't understand.
JD says, "Hey, habitual line crosser, when are we going to see Mover and Gonky on the Unsub podcast? I'd love to see the pick their superpower."
You know what? I'll probably take this video and shoot it on over to Eli and the guys and just be like, "Hey, these dudes are pretty cool. Don't bring them on." No.
Yeah, tell those nerds to stay away. We can't have those nerds nerding up our podcast. HLC, we need Mover and another one. Dirty Plop.
So the thing with plop is on our podcast, they wanted to come up with something that sounds like a slur, but it isn't. And we settled on plop. And you can call somebody a plop, and it sounds worse than it actually is because it's not really a thing. Maybe at another time I'll tell a story about that, but that actually is kind of anyway. Justin says those guard guys were the Wisconsin guard. We still keep a memorial going for them at Volk Field.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This one's going to be, you're going to love this. Admiral General Aladdin says, HLC, would you like job? Chief Anti-Air Missile Coordinator Supervisor. Ask Mover, it pays well to sell U.S. secrets. Also, meow. Damn it. Damn it.
I love it.
Oh, man. That's why I brought Luna with me in the helicopter to attack anybody that meows.
Oh, is that from the new pilots that were the commercial pilots?
Yeah, we did. So we talked about that last week, and I went on my usual rant about professionalism. And Gonky's like, I like meowers. I would meow if I'm entertained by stupidity.
Casmo and I said that we laughed at the meowing, and then Mover took massive offense to it, which made it even funnier to us. So it's like, okay.
You're a professional, Gonky. Act like one.
Yeah, I know.
None of us are.
Tim Merkins. Oh, God, I can't believe I just said that. Talk about European Texas.
So I commonly refer to, and I think I started it. I don't remember seeing anyone say it before me. I refer to Poland as Little European Texas because if you pay attention to the amount of firepower they have purchased, they're very American. Also, I figured out that there's a group in Poland that cosplays as Americans in a trailer park in Ohio.
Yeah.
I think we should give them like a pilgrimage to Ohio. I think they deserve it at this point.
Polish fighter pilots are cool. They fly the Viper.
Oh.
Yeah. Captain Rex says, as Dos Gringos say, F it, Fox 3. Do you know the Dos Gringos HLC?
I do not.
Oh my God, you have to. We've had him on the show. I was going to wonder if there was anybody that like sang folk songs about the Patriot. Like, do you have your own Dos Gringos? But if you don't know who the Dos Gringos are,
no, we don't. I did reach out to Sabaton because I was trying to get. So one of our common phrases, it's not even brevity, is blazing skies. It means like, hey, things are going hot. Get to the bunkers or get to your spot like now. And I tried reaching out to Sabaton because I'm a huge Sabaton fan. That I wanted.
Heavy metal.
Oh yeah. It's great stuff. You don't like heavy metal mover?
I don't. I mean, I'm more of a soft jazz. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. That's a joke.
No.
Smooth jazz.
But they do metal songs about like
Yeah.
things that happen in history. It was really cool. So I wanted them to do one, or I offered up like you should do one about Patriot in the first Gulf War, called Blazing Skies, which I think would be a really cool name for a metal song. But so far, no dice.
I mean, you'd have the spinoff of Blazing Saddles.
I mean, I don't know if we can get away with those jokes, but hey, you know.
Yeah, you can do anything once. Angie says, big HLC, Grandpa Buff, and Raptor fan. Just want to say hi before taking off. Catch the rest. Thanks, Angie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
PB operator, in case no one has said it yet, fat on behalf of ACF. What are these words?
Angry Cops. He every time he sees me, he just yells "fat" at the top of his lungs. It's great. He's my motivation to stay in the gym.
He's still in.
Yes,
right? He's still in the army.
Oh yeah, and I thought I was going to outrank him forever because he said he was not going to make 7, but it looks like he's on the list for E7. So
congratulations!
I don't see the fat jokes, man. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
Dude.
I don't see it.
I put on some weight after.
This is average American right here. That's not. There's nothing. I don't see anything unusual about what we're seeing.
I while I was in, I had to, maintain the Army height and weight standard, which I'm 6'2". They wanted me to be 193 pounds.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And I can't do that. And now I'm like, I'm just going to lift heavy. I want to lift heavy stuff because I was never able to get big. Yeah. So,
no more 2 miles either. Because that's
exactly.
Thanks, DJ. Oh, Doug, is that the one?
Affirmative.
Yeah, see, I did that. He said he never hit the button so fast when he saw the crossover. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Michael says, can verify some of my friends in defense watch HLC. There you go.
Oh no,
especially now. I mean, dude, you're worldwide.
I guess so. I have one of my mods is Canadian, and I'm like, me talking to a Canadian who's also in the military, I know somebody is listening.
Yeah.
100%.
Awesome seeing HLC on the show. Y'all need to get Justin Taylor on the show next. He's talking trash about the A10 CSAR. I don't even know who that is. So.
Oh, Justin Taylor. He's another creator. I just did a couple of videos with him. He's a good dude. He's a former, I want to say he's a Cav Scout or an infantry officer, but he's good people.
LeBray says Brandon's much better choice than 11.
Did you guys see that today?
Yeah, World War 11.
Oh my gosh, that was World War 11. That's if George Bush had said that, I'd be like, okay, he just can't read very well. It's George Bush. He loves America. He's just not a public speaker. But yeah.
Oh, there's that one. Huge fan from Costa Rica. Almost pressed a hole in my phone screen when I saw this thumbnail. Thanks, guys.
I love it.
Soft. Hi, you're Iranian American fan here. Good to see y'all together. See, we like our Iranian fans.
Yeah.
Just to hate their government.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. Kevin says, love it when channels I watch come together means I'm watching the right channels. Oh,
thanks. It's awesome.
I'd intercept me is on a deployment patch I made for our F-22 detachment to Japan a while back.
I'd intercept me.
Would you intercept me? People love it. It's great.
Alex says I get to see Sabaton in November. There you go.
Oh,
Alex is our little fan.
Yeah,
little
man.
fella.
That's awesome.
He's a big man, but he's
future fighter pilot.
Yeah, he's got his own show and everything.
Yep.
I do plan on going to Oshkosh this year. I'm trying to convince the fat electrician to go with me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Luna treats meow. And then Tom says HLC break out the nerd so Mover and Gonky can join in on Fat Amy jokes. Do you call it Fat Amy? I haven't seen.
I mean, I've referenced to it like once because that's the running joke. But no, I just went with the nerd because it's a flying supercomputer ultimately. Although
you got to do the whole like Battle Penguin.
Yeah.
The Panther. they call themselves so many different things in that community. They have no idea what because it's so many different. It's a hodgepodge of everybody, like the Strike Eagle community, the Eagle community, the A10 community. So they don't know. Like that should be your whole thing.
Identity crisis.
Maybe I need to come up with. Somebody wanted me to come up with a different identity for the F-35 that the Marines have, and I considered that just one that like has dumb. Sounds like the nerd, but out of nowhere, just like breaks out and like like just randomly.
Well, that's the one that ejects the pilot on its own. So
I'm going to land without this guy.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, you're out. Have fun. And then Dallas says HLC Great Guest Grandpa Buff should drop in and say howdy.
Look, we're trying to do the adult thing here and be PG-13, but I say far too many racial slurs for that to happen. Okay.
I love it.
Anyway, so we wanted to talk to you about this topic because it has been reported in the news. NBC was reporting recently that, our air defense is not as good as we thought. NBC News says over 100 U.S. targets across 7 countries were hit by Iran, including an F-5 in Kuwait. And the article talks about it's possible, but they also talk about how this thing has really only got a range of 480 nautical miles. It's in northern Kuwait, so that's okay, but it's almost out of reach for the F-5s unless it was a one-way mission. But they also talk about the Su-24s, which I read a report today that allegedly we picked up 2 of the pilots. 2 died, and we picked up, or 1 died, 1 we picked up and then returned to Iran after. But this is the first time, if it's happened, that we've had any kind of incident where a foreign country's fighter has hit American troops. I mean, do you think this is, when you see this news, I mean, it's all unconfirmed, right? But I mean, what's your take on that as a Patriot guy?
So possible, but unlikely. Our systems have been in place for quite a long time, and we do have rapid deployments of those like locations where they shift to a different azimuth or they move to a different location, wartime locations. We do the same in like South Korea and Japan. Is it possible that they got in? Yes. Using, horizon terrain masking to their advantage would give them a chance to get close, maybe drop payload and then hit the deck again and try and get out. I think it would be a one-way mission regardless, because as soon as we know that something had, released a payload on us, DCA is going to hunt them down. I find more likely, at least from what I've heard from my friends that are abroad, the Shahhead threats are a little bit more of a problem. And that's because the low observability, yes, but also kind of the way that they fly and they move. I'm trying to allude to some things. I'm tap dancing right now. Speed thresholds, things like that make them a little bit harder to detect. Now, could an F-5 have gotten in close enough to drop a payload? Yes, but to know for certain, I would have to know what was hit, where the corresponding air defense units are located, and their operability status. Because I know
is that the same as weapons posture?
Status? Yeah. Basically, if they're still functional, they're destroyed, which they can be destroyed by too much humidity. Those systems are very temperamental. The radar is incredibly good, but with anything that's really good, the temperament is very finite. And so I think we have Patriot at Camp Buring. I'm almost positive we do, but I've never been there, so I don't know which directions they're pointing, which azimuths they're on, and what their protected asset is. Now, most of the time with air defense, our protected asset is specifically the runway, not the entire airbase, depending on the size of said airbase. But mostly our job is protecting the runway, because that's how we get more troops. That's how we get fast movers. Like, that's our sustainment ultimately. So if they hit like one of the outlying, like outer guard shacks or something like that, that's very possible that happened. But I would be more concerned that air defense failed if they impacted a runway. That's kind of the way, just taking that at face value.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at if it's the Iranian F5, the Kosar, the one that they made on their own, the indigenously produced based off that, I don't see, I mean, it does have a glass cockpit now, head-up display, ballistic computers and stuff like that, but you're not talking, precision weapons. You're talking dumb bombs, maybe laser guided. I don't think they have a pod, but so you're running in low. And Gonky, you and I were talking about this. He and I have both done red air and blue air, and red air as the striker. I mean, any given Sunday, right? It's always the F5 or the T-38 or whatever that somehow manages to sneak in. Now, like you said, they get popped, but that's a tough one. The implication of that is a lot different than drones. Drones and cruise missiles are a lot different of a tactical problem than the random Ghost of Tehran coming in and bombing your troops.
I'm sorry, I love that Ghost of Tehran. That's funny. Yeah, it's plausible, but I will say with ground-based sensors, so like in one of my videos, I explained radar notching, right? Something you would, because I understand how filters work and how radars pick things up and so on and so forth. And I was like, with a ground-based sensor, that's significantly harder to do because our filters are turned a lot lower down because my radar is static. I'm not a moving object. So my detection is far greater, not to mention the amount of power I can produce through my radar is far greater than what you might see from your average fighter aircraft. I'm not talking any trash. It's just a difference in jobs and profiles.
Yeah. Wow. Gonky, what do you think, man?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, unconfirmed, but in the article, I think it does say in the early parts of the operation. So that would lend itself to the best opportunity for an F5, right? So like you're saying, man, the drones are causing real problems. So I would argue that if a drone can get through, probably an F5. And if it's in the early stages of the operation, like I always wonder, one of the big things I learned about when I got curious and started asking like our Sea Sparrow shooters and stuff, the missile boats, like, hey, like when we're defending an asset and somebody gets through and we hand them off to you, like what happens? And they're like, well, it depends on our weapons posture, And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, are we weapons, white and free? They had all this. And they said it could be anywhere from a, 15-minute chain of command discussion to as soon as you hand them to us, boom, we hit the button.
Yeah. That's absolutely accurate.
Right. And so like, if it's early in the conflict, I could see maybe the ROE not completely doped out, and maybe that worked to the F5's advantage. And like Mover was talking about, having been on both sides of the F5 butt kicking, right? It's usually when I was a Hornet guy, doing the strikes and air wing Fallon, man, almost all the time it was the F5 that would get you. And then, Mover and I, as T-38, kissing cousins of the F5, we could see how even in, a simple airplane like that, we could cause some real problems because it really depends on where the focus is for the DCA, right? What's the expected threat that is coming at you?
Yeah.
Right. And so usually you're waiting for the big guy, right? So, is it possible? Yes. But I agree with you, man. Like, I mean, if he did, is very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is going in their favor. And you alluded to it a little bit, was with the early stages, there's so many moving parts.
Right.
I mean, I've seen just a fraction of what those guys saw with the amount of outgoing and inbound threats and everything else like that. And realistically, since what happened in 2003, most of the time we don't shoot at aircraft unless we are absolutely 100% told to. Now, situation can change, but if it was coming in and they saw it, they might go, hey, we get a whole bunch of different criteria, how fast it's moving. It's, dive angle or climb, or, I can't say everything that we get, but we get a lot of data about it. And then we have to figure out what it is. We also have the IFF, we can identify that thing. And if it's running just like commercial aircraft codes, I'm not going to shoot at a potential commercial aircraft that might be coming up as neutral or something unless someone tells me to. So it could be a lot of luck in those circumstances. And what what I find interesting about the whole situation is that while this is going on, it only happened once. And so that tells me there's a whole lot of luck involved there.
Yeah.
Luck and
100%.
timing.
Sorry, my dog barked a little bit there. My bad.
That's okay. We like dogs here. Erkman asked, if an F5 did get through, does that degrade the friendly fire incident from intentional to massive incompetence? Talking about the Kuwaiti F-18. Gonky, you and I talked about this. No,
That was on purpose,
that
man. 100%.
That seemed very
can't.
intentional.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, and I don't even know why you would shoot it in an F-15. I mean, unless they were like beyond visual range. Like if you saw that, if you're a pilot and you have any knowledge, you know, like the bad guys don't have that aircraft.
Right.
So,
well, if you're Kuwaiti and think the Israelis are bad guys,
that's true. That I didn't even think about that.
I mean,
but still, they're still friendly forces.
Yeah,
not in Kuwait.
Well,
yeah. So, are you now going to the habitual Linecrosser side of this? Why do you think the Raptor did not get this kill?
I'm a firm believer that Uncle Sam is probably waiting. I guarantee there's programs in the works. And so we have this habit, as I study military equipment through history, we make something that is so amazing, but then the next generation has to be affordable. And so like the F-22, phenomenal, but we needed something more affordable that we could retrofit and change. So that's why we have such mass production of the F-35. So I feel like what they're doing right now, and I'm inferring here, I have nothing to base this off of, is that they're working out the kinks of NGAD or the F-47 or whatever you want to call it. And then once that is kind of stashed away in the hangar and pretty much good to go, we'll probably start seeing a lot more F-22s being used in these situations.
I think it's because their radars were just looking up for balloons. It was too low for them. They had to look up and
sanitize at 60,000, man.
60 and above.
60
F5 came in
clean.
at 500 feet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I actually had a question for you guys as pilots, and this is one of the things that I talked to the pilots in UAE about. Did you know, or have you ever been taught or trained that we as Patriot guys can defend you? Like, let's say you're in a dogfight and you're outnumbered, whatever, you can come screaming at the closest Patriot site and it's called a delouse, and we can smoke everything chasing you.
Well, delouse is a real thing that I know, but it's usually between my other element or wingman. It's not, when I tell you, I have no knowledge of the Patriot system. It's because I know a crap ton about the foreign and the adversary stuff, but there's not much crosstalk. Do you guys even go to Red Flag?
We send our ADAFCOs to Red Flag, but not regular everyday operators.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of. I mean, I don't know, Gonky. You're probably dealing with the ship.
Yeah. So yes, the Sea Sparrow was part of our delouse. If we were super defensive and just running away, out of ammo, you could say, hey, target with birds. But we were always, as pilots, we're always like, man, you're beak to beak with the boat. Bad guys are beak to beak with the boat. It could be some bad, could be some target. Because, I, as a radar operator myself, I've shot the wrong group.
The boat will shoot you down landing. So
as we have seen.
Yes. Won't trust that. But that's a preemptive ejection if it does happen.
Yeah, that's something's inbound. Okay, goodbye.
You don't even, that's what happened.
Yeah,
all right.
We were always worried about blue on blue, but in that case, it's kind of blue losses would be acceptable, right? Because our goal is to protect the carrier strike group. We're running, right? The bad guys are behind us. Like, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
No, we were never taught that capability existed with the Patriot. To answer your question.
Yeah, as long as you guys have good mode codes, or you have comms with your whoever's air traffic control or whoever's in charge of you guys, they can pass that through to us, and the ADAFCO will be like, hey, this guy is a friend. Everything around him needs to cease to exist. Okay,
that would be wild.
It would be the greatest show on earth. Yeah. I need new pants afterwards, but the greatest show on earth.
Real quick, I know we want to be respectful of your time. Corvette World Rob says getting an Article 15 for streaking is epic. A big hoo-ah for Sergeant High getting SFC before retiring. Great show as always.
Well, thank you so much.
Awesome. And then Calvin says, happy to see this collab. We're very grateful.
Yes.
At Softco says, guys, IRGC put this fake news out. Don't believe anything they say. Your media just went with it. Standard.
I mean, it is.
They tell the truth.
We gotta read between the lines. That's what I'm like stuck in this position of this is what I know. This is what I can say I know. And then this is what people are telling me overseas. And then this is what people are telling me who work with the contractors on these systems. And I have to filter through all that and try not to go to jail when I tell people what's going on.
Right to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail.
Alex says, favorite Sabaton song, mine's Attack of the Dead Men. Mover, now meow. Quit listen to the polka music, bro. Listen to some cool music for Lunatics. That's nice. Thank you, Alex.
I think probably my favorite is To Hell and Back, which is the song about, I believe it's Audie Murphy. I'm almost positive.
Okay. And then let's see. This happened before or after the Kuwaiti fratricide incident. Elevate fear of fratricide may have led to a tight ROE. I mean, maybe, but it sounds more like things that just never happened. And what is Protocol 4?
Oh, no, I don't. They're not in here right now. So I'm a huge Titanfall fan. I played Titanfall 2. If you've never played it before, if you play video games, highly encourage you to do it. It's phenomenal. And they have protocols in there. Protocol 1 is like uphold the mission. Protocol 2 is link to pilot. Protocol 3 is protect the pilot, which is your giant robot mech protecting you.
I like this. I like where this is going. Protect the pilot.
And Protocol 4 is just something we made as like a spin-off because that's not in the game. But Protocol 4 is give one of the dogs a treat. I usually stream. Yeah, I have a camera back over there by their bed.
Yeah, so. We usually have a Lunicam too. And then the last one, Mr. AKA, can drones look like birds on radar? If that's going to get us in jail, you don't have to answer.
No, I mean, so radars in general, they pick up everything, dust, humidity. So basically what you want to do is tailor your radar to see what you need to see. Now, drones, my radar specifically is kind of smart. Some of the bigger systems are as well, that it'll look at something, pick it up, and then it won't display it to you. It'll keep looking at it and it'll say, okay, is this a bird? Is this a cloud? Is this that? And then it's like, well, it's this high, it's moving this fast, it's maneuvering, I'm getting a solid return. This is something, I don't know what. And then it'll display it to the operator. And then we get to go through our process of deciding what that threat is.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Your whole life comes down to an Army E5.
Dude, that's funny. When you put it, sounds kind of dicey when you put it like that.
Great. It's interesting because you guys are the officer side of the house, and in air defense, in Patriot specifically, you have two positions inside the van, the ECS. We call it the van. And one is the officer, and technically the officer is in charge of everything. Anything that goes good or bad is the officer's fault, and that's why they exist. But the TCA, which is the enlisted side, is often way more competent tactically and knows everything. And I used to tell my lieutenant, I was like, look, sir, if we're in the middle of a real scud fight and I think you're making a poor decision, I have no issue knocking you unconscious and going to jail. I have no problem doing that.
Wow. Well, sir, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us this evening. It has been a pleasure. Boy, an hour has flown by. Jesus.
Yeah. I would. If you guys would have me, I would definitely come back on again.
Absolutely. Anytime, especially when some Patriot stuff happens, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be that guy now.
Or any geopolitical stuff.
Patriot screwed up. Get the habitual Linecrosser.
Launch the alert habitual Linecrosser.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time and inviting me on here. And I know you guys will continue out your show, and I'd love to be back on here if you'll have me.
Thank you. Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Man. Have a great evening,
good
man.
Night.
All right. You guys too. Do I just leave?
Yeah, we got you. All right.
We got you. See you, man.
Gonky.
Oh, wow. It's just us now.
Awesome. It's quite the guest.
Good night, everybody.
No, don't say that. They'll leave.
I'm just kidding.
Gonky. Damn it.
I'm just kidding.
Gonky.
I'm kidding.
No. You can't joke on this thing. People will leave.
Like already 20 people have left. That's my fault, dude.
Yeah, that's definitely on you. That'll be reflected in your paycheck. Let's bring Doug back.
Yeah, that was cool, man. It's always fun. It's always fun learning about a new
Doug's muted, by the way. So
third tries the charm.
Yeah, dude, that was when he told that first story. I just no idea.
You know what? I didn't understand the details, but having
The spirit, you got the aura of the story.
having succeeded massively in many a buffoonerious evaluations, like I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
how was
man.
your weekend, Gonky? You got any baby peas in your lap?
Oh, mover.
You were
Look
going to
at
tell that story of your Google experience. Are you going to tell that now?
Well, dude, listen, we've got Alec and his friends.
No, he can learn. He needs to learn. This is anatomy.
Yeah. Well, there'll be no more mini gonkies. So I took care of that problem this week, and let's just say that I realized I don't know proper medical terms when it comes to anatomy. Much to my wife's horror. so luckily we carry supercomputers in the form of a phone, so I can look up these things, because the lady is like, take this cream and go it'll numb stuff, put it on, and she's like, the proper medical terms for things, and I'm like, talk to me street terms, like like Navy. Let's pretend we're in the Navy. But yeah, so that's what I did, man. So I have, like Mover says, I've been sitting on ice.
You don't want to tell him what the term was?
No, dude, come on.
Spicy cheese, man. Spicy cheese.
Yeah, my wife awesome. She was just beside herself. Like, who are you? I can't believe I married this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've passed your genes.
Oh, dude, not anymore, man. I'm done. Dunsky. So yeah. How about you? Look, come on, dude. Let's talk about something better. How about you?
I took Luna flying Friday. It was fun.
Better.
Pissed off the internet as usual.
Like
so many Karens. If you post a video, you're going to get, if it's got dogs, you're going to get all the dog trainers, and if you've got helicopters, you're going to get all the helicopter expert extraordinaires. So if you post both.
So what were they mad about?
Luna was in the front seat.
So there's 2 seats up there.
Yeah, I don't know if they just didn't get that the controls were taken off of her side, or that Luna is a trained dog that is not going to be a problem, because as Doug can perhaps vouch.
Yeah. I think she also lacks thumbs, so she can't grab.
Smart. No, they're worried that she's going to freak out. Like, one guy's a dog trainer, like, she's very stressed. She hates it. She's very stressed. I'm like, dude, I know my dog. I know Luna. She wasn't comfortable, but she wasn't stressed. And then the other guy was that, well, it's not legal in a commercial operation. I'm like, well, this is not a commercial operation. So thank you. Appreciate the insight. Yeah. But I did get a call Friday too. Our friend, squadron mate, he's now known as Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney. We know him as Noonan.
Yes, he's been on the show.
Is running for Congress. And we talked about kind of what his plans are and stuff. And we're, as a show, we've tried to, that's why I was asking Habitual Linecrosser about it, because we are apolitical, but in this case, Noonan is somebody that we have served with and known. I've known him since 2018. I first met him in the squadron flying T-38s. Really got to know him when we did the Folds of Honor flyby. And that was kind of eye-opening, because as long as I've known him, he has been single target focused on Folds of Honor. And Folds of Honor, in the time that I've been a supporter and been part of that mission, has helped so many veterans, especially the spouses, the children of the fallen. And they have expanded to law enforcement. There's been law enforcement line of duty deaths that they've been involved with, where they provide educational scholarships, some that have hit very close to home. And the whole time he's been about, veterans outreach and supporting veterans. So, when I talked to him, one of the things he talked about is, his goal is to take that to Washington and do that. And I hope he's successful, and I hope he's able to carry it forward.
Yeah, man, 100%. I mean, Noonan, so Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, founder of Folds, he's what, F-16 fighter pilot, professional golfer.
Gave up golf to be a professional fighter pilot, not
correct.
Just right.
Correct. I mean, the guy, I refer to him as a unicorn. The guy, he's always treated me and the rest of the guys in the squadron like family. I mean, I've been to his house. I spent time with him. I don't play golf, but he allowed me to play on
the golf cart.
Well, I played on his we did a fundraiser, oh gosh, a couple years ago, and I was on his team, and like you said, Mover, the guy is laser focused on helping veterans. I mean, his story is amazing. I mean, he was on a plane and saw a casket, got inspired, bought his own plane ticket, flew to Budweiser, just beating on door. I mean, like grassroots kind of stuff, man, like American dream kind of stuff. And he I've seen him bring men to tears. I mean, we were at a drill that one time. I don't know if you remember, but we were all sitting there at lunch, dude, and on base, and this wounded vet comes walking in, hobbling in, and we're all complaining about our pizza or whatever. And Noonan gets up and goes over and talks to this cat, and he's like tearing up and crying. He's like, "Hey, I gave my card. We'll send your kids to college." I mean, dude, like to him, it's he's just amazing. He's an amazing dude, and it would be really awesome to see what he could do at the highest levels. He's a good family man too, man. I mean, he's just awesome, dude, man. Noonan.
Yeah. He's running in Oklahoma. Somebody was asking that, in Tulsa. So if you're in that area, consider supporting his mission. And if you're not, just consider supporting him anyway, because, word gets around.
Or just support Folds of Honor. I mean, that's awesome too.
Yeah, continue the mission, because, I mean, like I said, I know people that have benefited from Folds of Honor. Like, I know people's children, Bama, Blair Faulkner, his kids got scholarships through Folds of Honor. Jinx, the good Jinx.
I know.
Not good.
I know.
My friend
I know.
Jinx, my actual friend Jinx. His kids are going to get scholarships. Sergeant Candy's, his kids are eligible here. So it's definitely a worthy cause. And if he's able to continue that, as he goes forward, I think it's awesome. But anyway, back to the show. Although JD just said, love that Noonan and Folds of Honor took up supporting fallen Leo's families, and I'm playing in their golf tournament in Corona, California on Thursday. That's awesome. You were better at golf than I don't play golf either, Gonky.
Yeah, Noonan schooled me. For sure.
Not a thing. Real quick, expat, thank you for that.
Thank you.
All I see is rabbit ears.
But thank you. I like
320 rabbit ears. Mihran says, "Hey, I'm your Iranian fan too from Sydney."
Hello. Thank you. Wow.
Australia. We're big fans of Australia.
Yes.
Good looking women. Lounge King says, "Meow." Thank you. Iran's got good looking women too when they're not in their burqas. When they're very good looking. Two Wolf Jaeger, it's a bumblebee, sir. It's a bumblebee at 540 knots and 26,000 feet. Jarvis in that bumblebee. Sorry, that's probably from HLC's time. There it is. Forget Steve and Max Aftershave. Juan Brown for the win. I don't know what that is. People got mad at us, dude, because Casmo said the things about Captain Steve last time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not wrong.
At Soft Cot says, guys, I need to explain this, I guess. When I say I'm your Iranian American friend, my grandpa was a U.S. Air Force colonel, married my Persian grandma. See, Persian women.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm an American coming from that background. Well, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Doug starred this to exonerate me, hopefully. Did you fly over Jazz Fest with a dog? No. There's a whole Reddit thread on that. It was not me. I did not fly anywhere this weekend. I was at home. That's all I have to say about that.
And if so, did that pilot break the law?
No, he did not, as far as I know. Will Angry Karens get somebody called? Probably. Thanks, Shook. Oh, no, not thanks, Shook. Damn it. Good. Douglas.
Hey, $2 is $2.
Meow.
Meow.
Joe says, Mover, I saw the Luna Wolf vid and she wasn't stressed. My view was that she's big enough that the seat wasn't giving her enough room for comfort. Yes, and that is the problem. It doesn't matter if I move her in the front seat or the back seat. It's the same bucket seats. All four seats are the same crash bucket seats. So it doesn't really matter. Next time I'm going to try her in the back seat. We have been training. I say training. I've been putting the earphones on because she didn't like the earphones. She hates them. Like she can't hear anything, and she was rubbing her head against my arm, like, "Hey, take this off." And so I'm a sucker, right? Anything she wants, she gets. But now we're actually training to keep them on her for a while, and she's doing well. So probably next time we go fly, she'll be able to wear them appropriately. Sharkbait says, "Is Luna a good co-pilot?" Yes, she is. Wolf. Hell yeah, she is. Captain Rex says, "Spent most of my career working NORAD. More than once, we had to do a bogus unknown rider call on guard to shut people up goofing off." Oh, wow. That is smart and awesome, and I love it. I love it.
I love it too. That's awesome.
I love it. All right. We got topics probably.
Maybe.
I didn't even look at the order. So, hey, glorious news, actually. The Air Force is going to buy 267 Eagle 2s in the new budget. They are going to boost the F-15EX from the planned thing to, I think it was 87. Was that right? Was that the number?
I think it was just over 100, wasn't it?
Yeah, but now it's 267. Oh, 129.
Right.
So they had previously planned 129, but they are only requesting 24 copies of the F-35 in 26. So now they're going up to 38 and 27 for the F-35 we're talking now. And then obviously we talked about last time they're going to keep the F-22. Gonky, my question when I read this is not, is this awesome? Because I think it is. The F-15EX, if there's one jet that, is new that I could go fly, that would be it. But my question is, can Boeing deliver given their history? But since it's the McDonnell Douglas side of Boeing, is it okay? Because, Block 3 Super Hornets and all that stuff. I mean, what's your experience with them on the fighter side? Can they do this?
As far as supplying the airplanes?
Yeah, in a reasonable amount of time.
I think so, man. It wouldn't surprise me. So they build the Super Hornet and the Advanced Eagles in the same plant. I mean, literally, like you can walk down the aisle, and on this side are Super Hornets, this side's F-15s. Super Hornet production, I think, is wrapping up this year or early next year. So they're going to have an entire half of a factory that is, with trained people that build fighter planes, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if that plant just starts building Advanced Eagles, and then, how many they get a year? I mean, I doubt they're going to build 267 in 1 year, right? But I don't think they're going to have a problem with it. I don't know how, obviously, priority wise, if orders come from other customers, right? That might muddy things a bit, but I think most likely we're the first priority. So I would say Boeing with the F-15, I don't see any issues with them being able to produce the airplanes because they've been making them, right? I mean, it's just a matter of expanding the operation.
I just look at the debacle that has been the KC-46 and in some part the MH-139, but that's a different side of Boeing.
Right. Right.
And that's why I'm saying the McDonnell Douglas side of the house, even though it's not really McDonnell Douglas. I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, dude, again, I mean, gosh, 2011, I toured the plant when I was active duty, and dude, they were Super Hornets that came off the line. They test fly them, no gripes. I mean, they had production down pretty solid. I mean, as long as, all the company union working stuff, as long as all the labor and everything is good to go and doped out, I don't see Boeing having a problem producing the Eagle, only because, dude, they've been making it with a lot of success for well over a decade, right? I mean, the Advanced Eagles, other countries were buying it now. We have the EX, that's ours, but it's not like the KC-46, which they took an airliner and kind of, they stood something up. This thing's already, dude, the EX is already doped out, man.
Yeah.
For the most part.
it's as long as they have the capacity. I mean, it's great for the local economy. I mean, it's great for jobs and but this is still a proposed, right? I don't think this has been approved yet, has it?
I don't know. That's for fiscal 27 budget. I don't know. It shows
right. This is the proposed budget. Like, don't we have to get the NDAA first and make sure we get, I mean,
what I like most about this budget is it says the flying hour program will be raised by nearly 1.8 billion. So to a total budget of 10 billion. So a 20% increase in flying hours, which you combine that with new airplanes. To me, that's a good thing. Now, I think the numbers say we're actually going to retire more airplanes than we're going to acquire, at least here on the front side, maybe. So,
I mean, dude, we're in a fleet recapitalization period, right? We've been flying. You and I have been talking about this as long as this show's been going on. That the jets are old. We need to buy new stuff. We don't need fifth gen for everything.
No,
like we need Block 3 Super Hornets. We need F-15EX. I think we need Block 80 or whatever. F-16s, Block 70, something. We need workhorse frontline fighters that are not. Because everybody says, well, it's a 40-year-old design. First of all, that's not true. That's not true. I mean, that's like saying, the Corvette of today is the same Corvette. Like, it's not, right? It's upgraded. But second, you need to get the hours off the airframes. Like, they can't fly for. You don't want an F-16 with 20,000 hours on it. What's your G limit? 3.1.
Right.
Like it's not sustainable. You need new jets. We need to be able to fly new stuff. Every now and then a new car smell is a good thing.
I don't know anything about that, but when it comes to fighters, I mean, most people, it's like I said before, you could take the F-16A and the latest and greatest off the assembly line, put them next to one another, and your average person would be like, same plane, right? Yeah. But as soon as you get inside of it and you turn on all the nerd stuff, it's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I had to wrap my head around when I became a fighter pilot was the airplane is a weapon system platform.
Yeah. It's the transport method.
Correct. It's the vehicle that transports the weapons to the warheads on foreheads. Right. So, aerodynamically, man, 4th gen fighters are pretty good. So like you said, man, it's a matter of new technologies in the engines and the avionics that really make these things awesome. Dude, the EX has all kinds of other nerd stuff that make it just, I mean, I'm with you, dude. Like I'd love to fly. It'd be awesome.
And largely not just the tech of the airplanes is increasing, but the weapons tech.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the weapons that are coming out, the missiles, we ought to bring HLC back because he's, the missile. I saw a thing the other day, and I covered it, about a JDAM LR, long range JDAM. It could go over 300 miles. It's got a little jet engine on it, turbojet, and it's got wings, pop out.
Right.
I mean, dude, like, and anything that could carry JDAM could carry this thing, So having, just because it looks like the original one does not mean that the tech and the weapon system stuff, and you don't need 5th gen for all that. Like, you don't need a tailless, super advanced ED looking, ED being from the movie with Jessica Biel, Stealth. You don't need that. You need something that can carry at least 2 of them. I mean, that's all. But
yeah, and I mean, stealth is a technology. It can be beat, and at the end of the day, it's an airplane, right? So I'm with you, man. And also, there's something to be said about traditional aircraft, right? Easy to work on, easy to maintain. People talk about it's 40 years old. Well, dude, it's a 40-year-old proven design, right? There's something to be said about that. You get the new stuff like
Southwest. They keep the 70-year-old 737.
That's a horrible idea. We're not talking about the 7.3. That thing's garbage. We're talking about fighter planes, though. I mean, there's something to be said about a proven design. Take the A-10, right? Proven design, specific built for a specific mission. And guess what? We can't get rid of it because there's nothing to fill its place, because you need specific weapons for specific tasks. CSAR, right? Air to ground. And I'm sorry, man. F-35 cannot take the place of all the airplanes that it was designed to do. You can put it on paper, and sure, you can, do the mission, but not to the level that purpose-built aircraft and purpose-trained aircrew can do it.
Yeah, and I like the EX. It's just a cool jet.
Dude, I'm superficial, and that thing just looks awesome.
It would be better with one seat, though.
100%. 100%. But
I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
They fly at single seat.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is all that really matters.
Yeah.
You can put your briefcase back there, your luggage.
That's right. Put your helmet bag back there where it belongs.
Very, very important stuff back there. No, because how do you get your snacks?
That's true. Pockets, man, in your G suit pockets, right?
All right. Let's see here. Subi says, heard of Captain Steve, but don't know much about him. Why does he get clowned on? Sir,
you're just going to have to research out on your own.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Wartime and peacetime.
Oof. Warfighter mod. T. Wolf Jaeger says there's a lot of sacred tribal knowledge that is still living in the F-15 production line now. I don't put a lot of faith in Boeing these days, but I do have faith in their St. Louis folks. Yeah,
right. That's sense. What I'm talking about, the St. Louis facility.
Ooh, wild speculation from Code Monkey. Boeing is getting more of the EX orders because Northrop is going to win the FA-XX competition.
Deep intel?
He said wild speculation, Gonky.
It's the same thing as deep intel. Come on.
Hey, now. Paul says, for the price of the F-35B, you could put angle decks and one cat on the AA ships and use the F-35C. Listen, you're going to get no argument from us on why you don't need that thing.
Yeah.
Why do the Marines need anything?
Valid. Yeah, the F-35B is garbage, and it made the A and the C super garbage. So thanks, Marines. Those are technical terms, by the way.
Late night with Gonky. That should be a T-shirt.
It's been a long day, dude.
Yeah, you didn't even tell us about your day.
It was long. Continue.
That's what she said. Joe says the F-16, F-18 came from the lightweight fighter program. Time to relearn that lesson, apparently. Look, dude, we just need an A-10 that is newer.
Yeah. You need an air superiority fighter, dude. You need an A-10 kind of fighter, and then Hornets and Vipers to fill the void.
That's right. Our pilot says flight deck pics from the 80s just look cooler with so many different aircraft.
Yeah.
And then
I agree.
Tom says Luna just wasn't impressed by a helo that isn't Airwolf. I tried, dude. I contacted the I knew this was a long shot. I found a Bell 222 for sale on controller, and it had been sitting for a while, and I was like, hey, how about you let me lease this thing and I'll help you sell it? Didn't answer.
Crickets.
Yeah. I thought it was a great idea. I'll rent the thing, dry lease it, probably go bankrupt in the process, but it'd be about 3 months worth of great content, and then hopefully somebody would sell it.
Yeah. Then maybe give you a call to fly it.
No, well, I mean, I don't want to fly it for them. I was just going to fly it around. It's like bring it down here, fly it around, take Luna on adventures. It would be too easy, Gonky.
Yeah.
JD says Gonky loses 2 friends and gets meaner. What 2 friends did you lose?
No, it's supposed to mellow me out. It's supposed to mellow me out, John.
Oh, yeah, Gonky.
That's funny.
Mr. AKA says, did you guys get issued Go Pills during service? Yes. Didn't use them, though.
Yes, but I did not use them either. I was afraid I would like them too much.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Do
Back
you
then,
really want to meet Gonky on speed?
Oh, look, there it is. Doug's got it up. Look at that.
It's good looking.
So to
Yeah.
speak.
Call for price. That's how you know it's not for you, mover.
Old Martin responded, and Martin didn't give me good information. I could have sold his helicopter. It's not Martin. Martin's just a broker. The real owner, it's in Savannah. But alas. Anyway. All right, Doug, back to work here. We got to talk about this. Is it socialism? Socialism? Communism? Communism is on the menu. Spirit Airlines could be used to transport troops, military cargo if Trump admin takes over bankrupt carrier. They're talking about buying, I want to say it's $500 million. They're going to invoke the Defense Production Act to loan Spirit Airlines money for national defense purposes. And they're going to use the excess capacity for transporting troops, military cargo, and other missions. Go to the number, Doug. I think it's the company known for its bright yellow airplanes and low-cost fares has declared bankruptcy twice in the past 2 years. Gas is expensive. There's Donald Trump. And we're thinking about doing it, helping them out, meaning bail them out or buying it. And then go to the next article because we're going to combine these two.
The number of which you spoke. Okay, this one?
Yeah. So the budget airlines, Reuters is now reporting, they pitched a 2.5, click it. A $2.5 billion relief plan, and it's the two airlines are Frontier and what was it? Avelo. Yeah. Avelo. Low-cost carriers are also wanting money. So, yeah, dude. Gonky, let's talk about Spirit first, because this is all one big pot of socialism here. What do you think, man? Communism?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's tough, man, because I don't want people to lose their jobs. I mean, that's horrible because Spirit employs a lot of really good people. But you don't want the government owning businesses. That is communism.
Is it communism?
Yeah.
Government owns the means of production. Is communism, socialism?
Communism.
What's
Yeah, it's communism. They did it to the auto industry, right? Success or not, that's debatable. The way business is supposed to work, right? If your business model is not as competitive, it usually doesn't make it. It's absorbed by more successful models. And, the idea is better products in the end. Of course, people, if you fly for Spirit, you're like, no, you got to save us. We're the best, whatever. It may be true. I don't know. I'm not arguing either way, but I agree with you, Mover. I'm not a big fan of the government meddling with big business like that. And the whole idea, putting a stake in, was it in Spirit for military use?
Yeah, they were Defense Production Act. So they were using it for cargo and for troop transport. Can you imagine, dude? Well, you thought DTS was bad. Now you got to get on Spirit with the seats that don't recline.
But the thing is, so the military does that, right? So the military can charter with air carriers out there. There's a Civil Reserve air fleet, right?
Oh, so they used that during the Gulf War.
Yeah, during Gulf War, when I was over there as a kid, I saw many a Northwest Airlines 747 flying into Dhahran, and they weren't carrying vacationers from Minneapolis, right? So to say that, we're going to use this for, I don't know. I don't necessarily buy it. Plus, like in the Navy, we have all the VR squadrons, right? In the Air Force, they have, all right, AMC. I just think it's, I don't know. I think it's, I don't like it, but that's just my opinion.
So it is communism, by the way. Socialism,
yes.
Then communism. There's two sides to this, obviously. On the pro side, right? The idea being that the government is not bailing them out so much as investing, and with the goal of turning them around, American taxpayer makes money off the deal.
Like
That's the idea.
like Amtrak and the post office.
Listen. I'm just telling. Look, I'm just telling both sides of the story, Gonky. This is not. The other side to this is the low-cost carriers are the reason air travel sucks, because they have artificially driven down prices with the undercutting everything, creating the low-cost carrier, which caused the legacies to do the same thing, which has driven down the quality, which, you know, the Group 9 fares and, you know, that level of travel has caused an overall degradation. And now that the pricing model is not sustainable, they're like, hey, give us some money. And guess who's asking? Frontier and Spirit. Who's always got the fights on the...
yeah.
I mean,
the
dude, it's like... And who also, I mean, both Spirit and Frontier have both tried to merge various times and have been blocked. But I feel bad for the pilots of Frontier and Spirit, because, and the flight attendants and the workers and stuff like that. But the best thing that could happen to them is they get absorbed TWA style. Let them go out of business, let somebody else buy their assets, pick up the pilot group and move on and you know, staple them to the seniority list or merge them or whatever. But for the government to, like, there's a reason they're failing. They're not just failing because, oh, this was a great business model and they just have a run of bad luck. This is like their third time approaching bankruptcy, to the point that they're going to liquidation.
I heard part of the reason the government was entertaining this is because the government blocked the merger, which put them in a...
But I mean, how many airlines throughout history, I mean, Pan Am, you know, where they landed and like the lights are off and they said, hey, you got to figure this out on your own. I mean, dude, airlines, it's an ebb and flow. Yeah. And anybody who's a current airline pilot who doesn't think that this is a possibility, you're deluding yourself here, because
any carrier could go under.
Yeah,
dude, I have flown on Pan Am, TWA, Northwest. Like I remember, man, like those were like the King Kong carrier. They no longer exist.
I mean, even the airlines that do exist, American Airlines doesn't exist anymore because it was taken over by U.S. Airways and America West. You know, Delta and Northwest, like all these mergers have happened, and you have new airlines now. And those are the ones that exist. And trying to save airlines that cannot exist in this market, all you're doing is artificially propping them up. And I mean, okay, so what happens with American when they have the next problem? Are you going to, you know, throw a bunch of cash at them? Is Delta going to get extra cash because they're doing it right? Is United going to get extra cash because they're somehow managing profitability in this thing? Like,
slippery slope.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are you going, like, they're not getting any money? So is this a contract available to everybody, or is it just the airlines that can't hack it because fuel prices went up?
Yeah.
Go buy a refinery like Delta.
Well, but like you alluded to, before fuel prices were high, they had already restructured, right?
My argument is that they are like low-cost carriers were not good for the industry. Like they drove the industry down. And now that they're in trouble, you're like, well, I mean, you created this model, $39 one way, but you charge $200 in bag fees. Like, for a seat that doesn't recline. You've turned it into Greyhound. Like you turned it into the Amtrak and buses. Actually, Amtrak's way better. A bus. You've turned it into a bus.
So they literally fly there. But yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel for all the families and stuff. I hope that they're able to turn things around. But it's I in general, I don't like the idea that government goes into private businesses, because I just think, like you said, man, that's communism.
Well, let them merge.
Yeah.
Let them. I mean, if they want to merge, let them merge.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know.
I hope Spirit makes it on its own, and nobody loses their job.
They're not gonna. I mean, that's we're not. We wouldn't be talking about this if this were a possibility, right? Like they either get the money or they get liquidated, or they get bought out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I just, for the government to get involved, like using this for, spirit.
Mm.
Your DTS is going to be 100% spirit from here on out.
Dude.
Perfect. It's great.
I'm gonna drive.
Let's see. Ozymandias says, Tomcat Brothers.
Thanks.
I get rid of this banner. Tom says, makes sense. Banana bus is used to combat in the sky. May as well go into combat zones.
You're right, Mover. I mean, some of the best little shorts. I mean, the videos, the fights. Yeah. Brings out the best.
New Area 51. Awesome dude, by the way. Go follow him on X. Helicopter guy. Shares a lot of Airwolf stuff, which I'm a huge fan of. But if you scored a Bell 222, you'd have to change your name to Jan Michael Lemoyne.
Without the drugs.
Without the drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stringfellow mover. LeBray says, I flew Spirit once. They offered us a discount if we'd get out and push the turnaround at the end of the runway. Oh, dude. Kevin says, the G-Man needs 3 cones of shame.
Oh, dude.
That's you.
I know. I'm well aware.
Michael says, hey, Amtrak is great here in the Northeast where they own the infrastructure. The Acela ate the airline's lunch on the New York DC run.
Oh, okay. All right.
They've got they got one they just started from New Orleans to Mobile.
Really?
Like the Mardi Gras or something. I forgot what they call it. They got some kind of, I don't know. All right. Well, I'm gonna probably get hate mail on that one, so that's good.
Yeah.
Doug, what do we have next? Oh, a flyover. We love flyovers. Check this out. A little bit of levity. Make it big.
That is as big as it gets.
That's what she said. Or that's what you said.
Is there any sound?
Okay, we're doing great.
Was there no sound?
There's sound.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I screwed that up. It's awful.
Do it again.
Yep.
One more time from the top, sir.
Do it again with the sound.
There it is.
Now that's muted.
Oh boy.
The bomb's bursting in air.
Oh boy.
They flew over at the rocket's red glare.
Dude. So they're like a minute early?
They start at the beginning of the song almost. I mean,
you know,
they've already done their thing and gone home. If only they had a way to slow down a
If only
helicopter.
they could have stopped and waited a minute.
They could have just hovered over the stadium.
Oh.
Right over the scoreboard. Just wait.
That's pretty bad, man. Wow. They must not have had any ground help, dude. There's no way you screwed up that bad in a helicopter. Dude.
We've seen that though. Remember back last Trump administration when he had
Helicopters?
it was the helicopters, because I remember going, if only they had a way to slow down, because they did the various flyovers, like it was like Navy, Air Force, Army, if you remember that. And the
Right.
Army was early, like the dude was still announcing them and they flew over, and it's like, if only you had a way to perhaps
The delay.
slow down a little bit in your helicopter.
Dude, again, the only thing I could say is they were given a TOT.
They
That's
just
all
said,
they're-
you know what? We're going to get there when we get there. You know what? If they could team up with those T6s and just split the difference, they'd be perfect.
Well, yeah, T6s could do the parking lot. The Helos could do the ball game. I mean, one early, one late. I mean, Who cares, man?
Just as long as something flies over sometime.
Well, they requested a flyover. I mean, the timing is not ever really requested. It's kind of an understanding. But in
The
this
best
case,
part
nobody
is
understood.
Nobody in that stadium knew any better.
No,
It's just us. We're the only nerds that care.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
but
still pretty
still,
bad.
that's still pretty bad. And it makes me remember all the bad stories I've ever heard of flyovers where, you know, you're so late, you get booed, or you
Best you
fly
can
over
do
the
is
wrong stadium.
best you can do is break even.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do, man.
Well, Army Aviation, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Casmo.
That would
Where's
have been a good
Casmo
one
when you
for
need
here.
him?
Yeah. All right, Gonky, new tech here, new old tech. The AN-28 in Ukraine is launching anti-drone drones. Check this video out. There's it's tracking the drone. They launch this thing. Very technical term. Go ahead and engage.
Who's flying it?
I understood that part. Whoa. That one kind of came off under the wing. They're having a good time. Yeah, so I don't know if there it goes. Gonky. So the AN-28 is it's the high wing
Twin engine
turboprop.
Mm-hmm.
It's the NATO is cash, but that's like the Sky Courier, right? I mean, we were talking about this before. This looks something that we could adapt to stuff that we have. You could put this on a C-130. I wonder what the operating limits are. Like if the reason they chose this was for the speed.
Yeah,
because I'm sure the little anti-drone drones aren't super fast, but they got to be faster than the other drones.
Doug, put that picture up real quick. So people, yeah. So there it is. So like you're saying, Mover, I mean, this thing is basically the mothership, right? So, but it's still, man, that thing is still probably flying at least 110 knots, you think? 120 knots. And then the drone's coming off the wing. I mean, it came off there pretty aggressively.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of flew up. One of them flew up and looked like it was trying to go into the wing.
Yeah. So like last week we didn't cover, but we had a clip where the Ukrainians were flying around in a tandem yak with the guy with the shotgun in the back. So, I mean, they're getting very creative with
but this is more organized, I think. Like the yak is kind of like, to me, pickup game, but they have a sensor. You know, the AN-28, I mean, that obviously we were watching targeting pod footage or some kind of sensor footage from another drone or from the actual aircraft itself. So it's targeting and it's doing a handoff to this other drone. Unclear how it's tracking, if the drone's autonomously tracking or if it looks like they're having to control it from the back.
That's right. It looks like there's an operator in the AN-28. He's flying. I mean, I could totally see them taking, basically setting up DCA lanes and having, AN-28s in each lane. And then, if they detect a drone coming, they take a commit and do their thing. And then, like you said, maybe the yaks are hanging out behind them as like, anybody gets by, we smoke them with the shotgun, I mean, I know it's war and serious, but those guys look like they're having a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. Chasing those things around. But I mean, like I said, as far as the concept, I kind of like it, man, because the AN-28, I'd argue, is probably a lot cheaper to fly around than an Apache, right? Cost per hour.
Or I mean, that was the thing. That was my next question: is the APIC was rockets? Like, remember we watched the Strike Eagle,
right?
I mean,
good luck with that. Yeah. So this thing, but you know, the airplane is not actually prosecuting the intercept, right? So, you know, the airplane again is the weapons platform. So, and dude, the AN-28, I imagine, has some pretty significant loiter time, right? So they can set up, like I said, like DCA lanes. Like, you know, if they know, hey, we're getting a bunch of drone launches coming from this, I don't know, 100-mile swath, whatever. Yeah, this axis. Yeah. You could, you know, with a half a dozen of these things, you could protect quite a bit of sky. I don't know how they're, like you said, as far as detecting and tracking. I don't know if they have, you know, like ground control radar that's providing them tipper, and you know they're quasi intercepting and then launching these things to finish the intercept and the attack. But I think it's a pretty cool idea. I just, you know, as far as putting those things out on the wing, and like, are they, you know, like as far as like, are they safed up until you launch them? You know, like, so that one went straight up. You know, is there any?
Well, I don't. Is there an explosive to it, or are they just hitting the drone?
I think to me, it looked like it blew up when it hit that.
Well, the drone blew up because it was a.
Yeah,
the drone that it's hitting blows up when it gets hit.
I think the drone hits it.
Do you think they both have explosive too? Well, they're FPV.
I've got specs.
I'm sorry, what, Doug?
I've got specs. It has a 0.8 kilogram, so it's at about 3 pound warhead in the drone, and it'll go 180 miles an hour.
Yeah, okay.
So
yes, that's about right.
60-ish knots,
180 miles. Yeah.
So the Yak's flying around 110, 120 knots, you know, and launching these things.
The AN.
Yeah, the AN-28's flying, you know, 120 knots or so. I mean, it's definitely, dude, it's plausible. I mean, it appears like it works, and cost-wise, it's, I mean, like I said,
you launch this thing up in orbit over Kuwait.
You could, yeah,
and hope you don't get shot down by the F-18.
Or, dude, I mean, you could, you know, if you had an airfield, like let's say in Saudi, you could launch one of these things, and it could just fly a cap out to the east, right? It can fly some sort of cap out to the east. Any tipper that a drone's coming, that thing could do its thing.
It's cool as it is, but where it needs to get is almost, I mean, it has to be autonomous. Like, you have to get to the point where these little drones can almost fire and forget. Like, they have to be able, but that's obviously complication because you got to put some kind of sensor in them.
Right.
You know, I mean, what makes this simple is that, I mean, there's no countermeasure. Like, it's just a guy with a FPV drone. He flies it into it.
Right. Yeah. And I think, I mean, to me, man, that's part of the beauty of it. It's simple, low cost, and effective. I mean, it's hard to.
But you're limited by how many dudes you got in the back.
That's true. That's valid. But I mean, in a given, call it a DCA lane, whatever. I mean, how many drones do you think? And the other thing is, at what range, right? So the little tiny drone they launch off the wing, I'm sure it has, you know, the battery's got a life, or however it's powered, you know, it has a certain range. So, I mean, you're right. Maybe that is a limitation. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
20 to 30 kilometers.
That's pretty far.
15 miles.
That's pretty far. I don't know if the little Radio Shack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can do that from my yard right now.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah. Maybe it is a limitation mover. I don't know. But I think you know, obviously this will evolve.
Yeah. Well, it's not a missile yet.
Right. I mean, it's drone on drone, right? So I don't know. Yeah. I think it's cool, man. And you know, Ukraine is definitely.
Oh, well, they're the forefront of anti-drone technology. There was a video
exactly
that was published recently about where it was Israeli medevac from a drone attack, and then a secondary drone attack almost hit the medevac helicopter.
Really?
Yeah. It got out like just as the like a movie, you know, the explosions happening behind it, but it got out. But it's definitely, it shows you what they're dealing with, you know, and it goes back a couple people. I was reading the comments, as I should not, on the short that we did about the Strike Eagle guy getting rescued.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, actually, it might have been over the CSAR thing. But anyway, they're saying CSAR's drones. And because they're like, well, you know, CSAR package gets shot down, you know, drone. It's like, well, the problem with that is that you have to have something to pick the person up. Like, people that think everybody's all obsessed with these drones and stuff, and they do have their value in certain scenarios. But like in a CSAR scenario specific to that, it's not that the A-10 is out there just loitering around. It's actually doing a mission. Like Skid talked about, like T-Bear talked about, the Sandy 1 through 4 has very specific missions. That's not just, well, we need a gun on these targets. Like you're coordinating stuff, you're looking out, and the helicopter is going to have humans in it because you can't pick up somebody without. Now, it could be that autonomous thing, I guess. Can you imagine that? The Black Hawk opens, the clamshell doors open up, and you just walk into your empty Black Hawk with no windows and get in. And
I mean, dude, there's so much more than that, right? I mean, there's guys on the helicopter manning a gun, right? Machine gun is probably a medic. It's probably a medic on board.
PJs.
Yeah, there's so much more than just the helicopter.
Right. And that's the thing is people don't understand. It's like, well, it could all be replaced by drones. And it's like, well, it's because you don't understand what's going on.
Right.
Maybe one day, but that day is not today. If actually the one day is when you don't even need CSAR because you just go, what the hell?
Robot wars.
The drone. Yeah, it's the robot war because the drone got shot down. You're like, another one.
Yeah. Build another.
Yeah. You know who wants that is the defense contractors.
100%, dude.
Dude, that is like printing money.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Boeing has their MQ-25 Stingray autonomous aircraft demo. Check this out. Play the tape, Douglas. Wow.
You guys ready for it? Yes, sir.
Never be good looking.
Start sequence in progress.
Look at that thing. What is...
Tower Stingray 3-3 on the roll. Stingray 3-3, commanding takeoff now.
I want to be the chase vehicle.
Yeah, see there, airborne. Stingray coming out of the 6th turn.
Yeah, I think that's at Scott. I think that thing took off at Scott Air Force Base. Looks like it.
Why do you think they've got the asymmetric loadout?
Good. I mean, that's the refueling pod. I mean, that's the
Yeah, but
let's keep it going.
is it always asymmetric?
Yes. Well, no. On the Super Hornet, it's dead center. On the S3, it was off to the side.
No,
like
but on this thing,
I don't know, man. To be honest, here I'm looking at pictures of it now. Yeah, all the pictures I see of it, it's off to the side. Dude, I tell you what, I like that design because the exhaust nozzle, you don't want to be right behind, like in the Super Hornet, dude. When you tank off a Super Hornet, your teeth rattle out of your skull because it's so freaking loud. Like you have your radios turned up, you can't hear anything because you got these two GE engines screaming at you right here. So I think by them moving the pod off to the side, you're not going to get the jet exhaust coming off the drone over your aircraft. It's probably going to make it easier for you to get in the basket too.
No, yeah, I mean, I get that, but why not put two of them? It's got two hard points.
I mean, maybe they can put it on the other side too, but it's not big enough to refuel two airplanes at once. Like if that's what you're alluding to.
No, I like symmetry.
Yeah.
They've got the anti-ship missiles the thing can carry. But
yeah.
I mean, do you think it would be harder to refuel off of than something manned? Because I guess it's on autopilot, right? So, I mean, I guess it's going to be pretty stable as a platform.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this earlier. You know, I think it's easier for the Navy to have an unmanned aerial tanker because typically, so the organic tanking, right? So the tanking that the carrier air wing provides itself, i.e. not big wing, dude, the tanker track is right over the ship. So literally you can launch this thing, tell it, you know, much like your drone, stay within 15 miles of me and just do a circle at 10,000 feet. All the fighters coming back know the tanker's at 10,000 feet, left-hand turn. You know, you just join up on it, whatever. You know, give it the signal. The drogue comes out, get your gas, and you're on your way, right? And it's just following the ship around, right? Because that's where the stack is. So, you know, in the Navy, most of the time we did tanking, it was directly overhead the ship, either right after takeoff for a top off, or on the RTB, grab a couple 100 pounds if we, you know, had to wait for the recovery time. I have tanked, you know, like away from the ship, but usually, dude, it's right overhead the ship. I mean, I think actually a drone doing circles up there as a gas station is a great idea, and not too hard, really, from a technology standpoint.
It can offload up to 16,000 pounds of fuel.
That's amazing.
Where? Where's the where?
Where the pilot and the Wizzo would sit. Those are gas tanks now.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll give you. Because I read a thing, it was like 300 pounds. I'm like, what are you going to do with 300 pounds?
No, that's Super Hornet, dude.
Yeah, but
that's Super Hornet tanky.
16,000 pounds.
That's
how much gas in a situation like that, where it's your tanker in the stack. How much gas are you like typically taking? 1,000 pounds, 500 pounds? Like what's?
Well, it depends on the airplane, dude. Super Hornet, usually 500 pounds.
Like you go through all that just for 500 pounds?
Sometimes 1,500. Yeah, usually get a top off, you know, or if you're having a tough night at the boat, you know.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. If you're having a tough night, like what's your?
Give you a couple 100 pounds. Well, it depends on how many other your brethren are having a hard time as well, right? And then they themselves have to have enough gas to recover.
Not this thing. Just throw it in the water.
No, none of even the S3 didn't have 16,000 pounds of give. That's pretty amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan. I think for carrier aviation, this is actually a good thing. And also it will take, I don't know if it'll take it completely, but I've always thought it's horrible that the Super Hornet is a tanker, and they use they use valuable flight hours of the airplane for tanking. Because I mean,
wasn't that what the Gettysburg shoot down was? It shot down the tanker.
I can't remember.
I thought he was the tanker.
I don't know, dude. I can't remember. But dude, you put 5 tanks on that thing. That's a lot of stress on the airframe, right? The cat shot, a lot of times it's a burner shot. It's a horrible idea. It's not a good tanker. Anyways, they can't give a lot. It's hard, you know, it's hard. It's uncomfortable tanking off of them. It's just a bad idea, man. So I hope that Super Hornet loses the tanker mission and they use these things. That would be ideal, but they probably won't.
No, they'll just have extras.
Right. We'll have extra tankers. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Or the MQ-25 is broken.
Yeah, dude, put 5 tanks on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're using up fighter flight hours, right? When we're sitting here complaining about, well, hey, all of our stuff is worn out and broke. It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of worn out and broke, This is kind of breaking-ish news. F-15 canopy comes off of flight level 210. Skid.
Yeah.
Pilot lands safely. Douglas, send it. What is this?
The flyover they did.
This is a little Americana for you right here.
Uh-oh. I want to do a flyover to danger zone. You always shack the timing for that. What is this, a rodeo?
Yeah. Of course, man, in the valley in California.
We'll go to the article, Doug.
Little did those guys know they're
The red, white, blue of America and our veterans.
Yeah, so in Fresno, a pilot landed after his canopy popped off at flight level 210, 21,000 feet. They did the flyover at the Clovis Rodeo at 2 p.m. and 2:30 declared emergency over the military training airspace. So they must have done, because a lot of times you do a flyover and then a mission, or mission then the flyover. Pop the canopy, skid. I know you're in the chat. Instead of ejecting, that's not an option. You just come back like a real man. The pilot flew back to Fresno, landed the plane, stopped on the runway where emergency personnel went to its aid. Pilot was evaluated, not known his or her condition. Obviously, we know about losing canopies. It happens. Sometimes not on purpose. Sometimes on purpose. Sometimes stuff just breaks. But it's a single piece canopy. I hope it didn't hit anything on the ground. They're not talking about damage to any property, because that is a big, massive canopy.
Yeah, dude, Clovis is like right there. So I think you're right. They took off. I mean, Clovis and Fresno they're basically one. Close enough. But they probably took off, like you said, did their thing, and then went out probably to R2508, the desert.
Did some intercepts.
I did some intercepts or something. That canopy cleanly came off, and it's nice that the tails are still there, and they were able to recover.
You're right.
Yeah,
it doesn't hit the tail.
Yeah, to recover the airplane, because a canopy, they're heavy. It's not like it's just a little piece of glass coming off, right? So who knows, if they're yanking and banking, or if you're just cruising along fat, dumb, and happy, and all of a sudden you're in a convertible, which I think is what happened to Skid. But that's how he lost all this hair too.
He had a flowing mane of hair.
He did before that event, yeah. So, but it gets your attention, man.
There is procedure. You run the seat full down. Obviously at 210, your oxygen 100%. Mask, visor down. It's going to be hard to communicate. You hope your wingman notices that, so they can lead you in. Depending on where they are, squawk emergency. You can still talk, but it's going to be loud and uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, what caused that. The eagles that they're flying are, like you said, they're old. These are the light grays.
Well, the good news is it's an Eagle jet and not a Viper, because Eagle jet still got the front part, the canopy bow and all that, the back part. Viper, the whole thing goes.
We just
hope the HUD doesn't shatter. Yeah.
You're in the seat really low. Yeah. I'm glad they were able to bring the airplane back. That's it's embarrassing to say the least, but at least stuff happens, like you said, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's get these comments and get out of here. Rod says, hey guys, kind of random question. Have y'all heard of Area 88? It's an anime manga series from the 80s about mercenary fighter pilots. Maybe the next Movie Ruins movies idea.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I've heard it suggested. I don't know. Anime is tough to ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Jason says Spirit is the Waffle House of the sky.
Oh, dude.
You know why?
Dude, I like Waffle House.
Waffle House is always open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spirit.
I like Waffle House, man.
Yeah, Joe says, imagine Ukrainian DCS ads. DCS, come save us.
Yeah.
Dude, they should put drones in DCS. Give the people what they want. B-Shoke says, get on the drone, helo, and land in Tehran. Yeah. Ugh. Have at it. Kevin says, why didn't they make the C2 a tanker, or was it a speed thing?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think back when the C2 came out, they had a variety of aircraft on the carrier that were suited for aerial refueling. But I mean, like, the A4 and the A6 were tankers, and I don't think they were particularly very good. But I think the C2 is a specific built.
Have you been the tank?
One time.
How'd that work out for
in
you?
training.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, you fly up, you put the drogue out, you put it back in.
It was a switch?
Yeah.
What switch did they have to? They had a switch?
Oh, dude, I can't remember. Yeah.
Laura B says, I think by now the fighter pilot prayer has been updated to God. I don't care if I die, but please don't let me F up or get talked about in the Mover Gonky show. Hey, we're not saying the Eagle person did anything wrong.
No, she's an old airplane, man. I mean, stuff happens. Not the pilot's fault.
Jonathan says, how many years of circling the aircraft carrier does it take for the drone to leave and join the airlines?
She's locked in. It's a lifetime contract.
Yeah, forever.
Correct.
Holly Movie Star says, idea, loyal wing fuel drone. It intercepts and attaches.
Yeah, it'd be some pretty crazy plumbing, though, to get the fuel into your tanks if it attached.
The physics aren't physicsing.
Yeah.
That's a cooperative drill.
We attach anyways, right? We put the probe in the drogue.
Not all of us.
Well, in the Navy. We're talking about the Stingray here.
Yeah, I don't think that would work because you're talking 16,000 pounds that would intercept in front.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if it had the ability to fly out. Like, let's just say you had some guy coming back.
Oh yeah, it could intercept. Yeah,
right. It could,
but intercept and attach. It's a cooperative drill.
Yeah, and the aircraft receiving fuel is the one that controls the attachment. You're muted.
Luna just came in and gave me the "What are you doing here?" Why is the show going on this late? All right. Do we have anything else? We do not.
Is that everybody? Did we get
everybody?
All right, man.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Gosh, man, 2 hours flew by. Holy cow!
I know. It's like we did 2 shows.
It was. It was, dude. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do another one next week, probably.
Same time, same place.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
All right. Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you, everybody. We'll see you
next week. All right.